Hey guys, Jake here. Let's do tackle talk number 6. In today's episode, I figured we could talk about trout fishing gear, because that seems to be what I do the most lately. So we're going to be talking about rods, reels, lures, and bait, and line. So let's go ahead and start off with rods. Starting out from smallest to biggest, I have got a 4'8" ugly stick I picked up not too long ago. You guys have seen this in multiple videos. Caught a few fish on it. It's a good rod. Like I said, it's a 4'8". See if we can get that to focus for you. Oh, I know it's upside down. It's a 4'8" ultralight. Thing has got a ton of flex in it. Just a ton. So like I said, I picked this up not too long ago. I picked it up as a combo, and it's been a great rod. The reel it's paired up to, not so much. We'll get to that here in a second. But it makes the smallest trout feel like a lunker. It's great. It makes for a very, very fun fishing experience. The next rod I want to talk about is a Bass Pro Shops Brawler. It's a 5'6" light action rod. There you go. And it has seen some use and abuse. Great rod. Only complaint is the very first guide insert came out. I hit it with some quadruple aught steel wool to smooth everything out, and haven't had any issues with tearing up the line or anything like that. So good rod overall. It's a rod that I usually throw spinners and spoons on, but for some reason I just have not been using it lately. That brings me to my third rod and most favorite rod. It is my 7-foot light Abu Garcia Silver Max. This thing is a straight honey. 7-foot light, like I said. And this thing is great. I've got nothing but good things to say about it. I've heard some people talk some crap on the Silver Max and the Pro Max rods. I can't speak to the Pro Max rods, but the Silver Max, this thing has performed flawlessly. I've caught dozens and dozens of trout on it. Y'all have seen that in my videos, especially lately, for the past few months. And like I said, nothing but good things to say about it. That brings us to reels. Let's start with my least favorite trout fishing reel, and that is this little Shakespeare. I'm guessing it's a 50 size, you'd call it. Give you a decent look at that. Whoa. Got issues over here. Hold on. It's decently smooth. My biggest gripe on this, and I know you've heard it on a few of my videos, I have talked some trash about the drag. Seems decent, right? But there is nil adjustability. You've got lockdown and free spool. It's ridiculous. Yeah, like I said, you've seen it in some of my videos. This thing just does not perform up to snuff. I'm definitely going to replace it with a Pfluger President. My buddy Jake turned me on to those reels. Yeah, he put one in my hands, and it is buttery smooth, and the drag is amazing on them. So Shout out to you, Jake, Bainbridge Bass Fishing. Go check him out. Great guy, great fisherman. He's taught me a ton of techniques over the past, 4 months that I've known him, I think. So let's move on to the second reel, and that is an Abu Garcia Silver Max. This actually came paired up to the Silver Max rod that I just showed you. This thing's decent. The drag's okay. Nothing to write home about, for sure. And it's a 1000 size reel as well. So, pretty good, but underutilized. This is the one that's paired up to the Bass Pro Shops Brawler that I just showed you. This combo is I just don't use it enough. But I thought I'd show you guys this reel just because it's a reel that I trout fish with, so. Pretty good. Lastly is my favorite trout fishing reel. I think you guys know what that is. It's my Shimano Sahara 1000 size. Just a honey of a reel. This thing is badass. I absolutely love it. Everything about it is smooth. The drag is super adjustable. And y'all have seen me catch dozens of fish on this thing. This is the reel that I have paired up to the Silver Max. And it makes for an amazing combo. I couldn't think of a better trout fishing combo, personally, for me. Nothing but good things to say about it. It was $79.99, money well spent, I think. Picked it up at my local sporting goods store and haven't looked back. Now on the Shakespeare, I've got 4-pound test spooled up on it. Same thing with the Shimano. And on the Silver Max, I have got 6-pound test spooled up on there. So yeah, just in case you were wondering. Alright, so that covers rods and reels. Let's move on to the one actual bait that I use very, very rarely, especially these days. And that is the Powerbait Magnum floating eggs. These things are great if you're trying to do a catch and cook, catch and keep. You're trying to do a meat haul. I say that because when the trout bite these things, they usually inhale them, and it's usually a gut hook situation. So if you're trying to play the catch and release game, this is not the bait for you. But if you're trying to, like I said, if you're trying to just get numbers and take them home, cook them up, you throw these things on a Carolina rig, throw 2 of them on a Carolina rig. I usually like to use 2 1/4 ounce egg sinkers to a swivel, to a hook, this particular hook right here. Pretty small hook. And like I said, you throw 2 of these bad boys on that hook and it floats it up just enough to get it off the bottom. And there really hasn't been a time or a situation where I haven't got a bite on that setup. It's pretty sure to get you a bite. Alright, so that's the bait out of the way. That brings us to lures, and we're gonna start off with probably my favorite trout lure for this time of year. When the trout are hunkered down low, they're biting on the bottom, and that is the Atomic Teaser. These things are absolutely money. They offer them in 2 different colors that I know of. Orange with the white, and pink, orange, and white. And like you've heard in a lot of my videos, all you do is you let them find the bottom, jig them up a little bit. Sometimes you even just dead stick them. And the trout love them. They absolutely love them. Next up for lures, we have got the trout magnet. Now I picked this kit up at Sportsman's Warehouse, I think, for 10 bucks, and you get a ton of lures. Look at all that. All these jig heads, all these soft plastics. They give you different colored jig heads. You've got black, silver, gold, whatever you need. And it's gonna take you a long time to run through all this stuff. Great value. And my boy Jake, Bainbridge Bass Fishing, turned me onto these as well. And these are equally as effective as the atomic teasers. So if you're a trout fisherman, keep some of these in your tackle bag. Absolutely. All right, the next lure I want to talk about is spoons, in particular Castmasters. Again, I want to mention Jake. He turned me on to these things. So I'll show you a couple examples here. This right here is a 1/4 ounce, all silver. I threw a single point hook on there just because. Now these things come out of the box with a pretty good standard treble hook. I'll show you a little 1/8 ounce version right there. See if we can get her to focus. There we go. Decent treble hook, pretty sticky, very easy to change out because they come with really nice split rings on them. There you go. So super easy to change out for a single point. If you're fishing in an area where it's single point barbless hook only, it's super easy to change out, no big deal. Another split ring on the top. You're good to go. Now these things come in so many different sizes and patterns, it's ridiculous. You can catch just about any species of fish, freshwater fish I should say, on these Castmasters. You can work them as a jig, you can jig them, you can just burn them in, which is kind of what I do, and they have a really erratic action in the water, just kind of do this all over the place. And it's a good bait for when the trout necessarily aren't keyed in on spinners. They don't want that vibration, and they're looking more for the flash. These things put off a ton of flash and not a lot of vibration, so it's definitely a good lure to keep in your trout tackle bag, that's for sure. I've got a handful of those in different sizes and different color patterns. All of them seem to work well. So, just a thought. The last lure I want to talk about is my favorite. That is the inline spinner. I grew up from a young age throwing inline spinners for trout, and it's one of my favorite bites to get on, just because it's so interactive. You're constantly casting, and when the fish hit it, they usually smack it pretty hard. And it's just a fun lure to throw. I'm going to show you a few examples of, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite examples of spinners. The first one is by Blue Fox. It's a Vibrax. It's a 1/4 ounce, I believe. Size 2. See if I can get this to focus. There we go. And as you can see, this thing has seen some battle. It is torn up, but still good to go. These things come out of the box with quality components. Great sticky treble hooks. Don't have to replace them, don't have to do anything, and they cast a flippin' mile. Next one is a rooster tail. It's a classic. This is a particular color that I have found works very well in the lakes around my area, especially in stained water. Nice holographic little sticker, throws off some light, some flash, big blade for some thump. And the color pattern on the body is a silver white with a little bit of gold flake in there. You get a nice little skirt action and a decent treble hook. Just enough to do the job. Wouldn't say it's outstanding, but it's pretty good. And the last spinner I want to show you guys is from Panther Martin. This color pattern right here, especially for cutthroats, I don't know what it is. The red slashes and the black dots, they love it. Now out of the box, these things come with pretty poor treble hooks, so I've replaced this treble hook. This is an owner Stinger treble hook. Super, super sticky and sharp. Great treble hooks. And these things cast an absolute mile. And again, you can see this one has been torn up. I've used it quite a bit. Last thing I want to talk about is line. I run usually 4-pound test if I'm trout fishing. P-line Fluoroclear copolymer. I have found that this is a great line for the price. It's like 10 bucks a spool. Low memory. I've had minimal problems. Really no problems with this line. It's just a good line. It's cheap. It's durable. It holds up. And it's great for line shy fish. Sometimes I'll run 6-pound, like on the Silver Max. That's got 6-pound test. But as for the other two, 4-pound, 4-pound. Could probably run 2-pound on this little bad boy. But I have yet to find 2-pound line in any of the stores around me. So might have to order some of that stuff. But I found that 4-pound line is kind of like the Goldilocks. It's a good middle ground. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for Tackle Talk number 6. I'm done talking your ear off. Hopefully you learned a little something. Maybe you already knew everything I just told you. Either way, it's a late night, and I figured I'd come on here and talk. So, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for new content. I just got done uploading 2 videos today, so there'll be more to come, including this one, obviously. Thanks for watching again. We'll see you in the next one.